Most of my conscious life has been like struggling and battling untreatable depression. I would say the last 3 years, there's been an ebb and flow over my life, but the last 3 years have been the worst in terms of like the experience of battling depression. Historically, within my family, depression has been untreatable. I'm not the only one in my family with that being an issue. I've tried several different medications, virtually all of the antidepressants over the years, mood stabilizers, anti-anxiety medications, all these medications that made me feel sort of loopy or numb or, almost describing it like feeling like I was a zombie. And about 2.5 years ago, I saw an episode on the Science Channel about ketamine and its use with, I think at the time was addictions. But when those patients described their experiences before and after the treatment and described what the treatment was like for them, I just knew that was for me. So I just kept my eye out and saw Dr. Nadra had opened Chicago IV Solutions, and still working with my psychiatrist at that time to try and find something that would work. But the breakthrough symptoms were so bad, it was almost like there was no reason to be on the meds anymore at all. And finally, I just hit a wall with work, my family, wanting to have deeper, more meaningful relationships with people, but being incapable. And finally, it was down to ECT, electroshock therapy, or ketamine. And I just knew, had an intuition that this would work, and fingers crossed, and then it did. It was life-changing. After one treatment, I was no longer suicidal. I was no longer obsessing about death and dying. That dysphoria where it's like angst and brooding and the conflation of that just sort of melted away. So that was the initial reaction, which was a huge relief. And then I felt like, okay, well, let's do 2 more and see what happens. And by the 3rd treatment, when I came in the first treatment on the Beck Depression Inventory, I was like a 34, which is considered severe depression, because you really top out in the 30s. And my 3rd treatment, I was, I think, a 3 or a 4. And then that was consistent. I think I almost felt badly on my 6th treatment just putting 0, because it was like, how can I not be depressed? Like this, it was complete remission. It's like a completely different world. My eyes are open to like the nuances of the world, and it's been an incredible journey in such a short amount of time, and that's what's been great.